Billboard Rewind. Billboard Rewind. Billboard Rewind. Hello, friends. This week on Billboard Rewind, we're heading back to a moment when America was glued to 3 TV channels, lining up for movie tickets at the mall and flipping through record bins at the local shop. Video games were just starting to light up arcades, toy catalogs were arriving for the holidays, and everyone still gathered around the television for primetime event shows. All while radio balanced dance floor energy, emotional ballads, and arena-sized hits side by side. I'm Mama K, he's Billboard chart guy, and it's time to rewind the chart back to November 18th, 1978. How are you?
I am well. How are you? How was your trip to Vegas?
It was great. It was a good time. You know, I got to see some Zac Brown at the Sphere and gambled some, watched a lot of football being wild card weekend, and including the New England Patriots win. And then I got on a red eye home and that sucked. But other than that, everything was pretty good. Weather was cold though for Vegas. For me, I was hoping for a little warmer.
And how was Zac Brown?
Oh, Zac Brown's great. He's my favorite, probably, band of this more contemporary time. And I've seen him a bunch. And I've been to the Sphere before, so I really didn't care about that so much. So I got the lower seats to see him, which was good because unfortunately we had some obstruction view of the actual Sphere. So I missed some of the visual stuff, but having already been there, it wasn't as big of a deal. But he was fantastic, and did a lot more of his new album and less of the covers that they're known for. But I enjoy their music quite a bit. So yeah, it was great.
That's great. Great. All right. Well, let's go to 1978.
Yeah, let's rewind back to a time when I was 7. So
and I was 13.
There you go. You were probably in the heart of getting middle school, right? I would imagine 7th grade, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
something like that. Well, you get to go start first, so have at it.
Well, all right. Well, the number 5 song the week ending November 18th, 1978 was "You Don't Bring Me Flowers Anymore" by Neil Diamond and Barbra Streisand. This song peaked at number 1. This is it's a syrupy, sappy ballad with strings all over it, but there's a funny story around it. I'm sure you saw this when you're doing your research, but Neil Diamond wrote the song. He released it on a solo album 2 years earlier. It wasn't a hit. Barbra Streisand then on her album a year later covered it, and it wasn't a hit for her. So there was a DJ in Louisville, Kentucky, who very creatively spliced the 2 versions together and created a duet. And that started getting some airplay. And it got to the artists. So in fact, Barbra and Neil went in and recorded a formal version of it. And it was a huge, huge hit all over the radio. The flip side of the 45, Mama, was an instrumental version of the song. And it was only performed once by them, and that was at the 1980 Grammy Awards.
Yep.
And I actually watched it in looking at the research, in doing some research, and it's obviously not one of my favorite songs, but they did a really nice job, and it was interesting to see them perform for the first time together, first and only time performing that song. So, classic 70s ballad, lots of strings. What do you remember or think or feel about this song?
This song, it is so heavy in my childhood rotation because my mom, like 3 of her best favorite artists of that decade were Neil Diamond, Barbra Streisand, and Barry Manilow. That's what she listened to. Okay. We had 8 tracks. We had 8 tracks in the car of all of their albums. I knew all 3 versions of this song because my mom played the Neil Diamond very, very, very often, the Barbra Streisand. My dad as well, I should say. My dad was actually in the same kind of musical boat with them for that decade anyway, and show tunes, I should add. So kind of stereotypical. And this song, I probably heard, on the way to the grocery store, or on the way to my grandparents'. I mean, I can't even tell you how many times I've probably heard this song in my childhood when I didn't have control of my own music. I was listening to Neil and Barbra and Barry a lot, and a lot of like Man of La Mancha and Chorus Line and other things like that. But I have it's so nostalgic for me. So when I played it, it's funny. I kept asking my Echo or Alexa to play it, and it was only pulling the Neil Diamond. I had to actually go on to my Spotify and listen to the duet. And I am telling you, it flooded me with like childhood memories. So I will always have soft spot for this song and others in this probably same vein because of my folks and just listening and being introduced to this stuff very early on in the 70s. And I am a big Neil Diamond fan. So I still am. Like the other ones, I don't care about. I wasn't a fan of Barbra. Barry Manilow, I actually enjoy some of his music for the schmaltzy part of it. But Neil Diamond, I'm actually a certified fan with or without the influence of my parents. So I love his voice. I must have seen the Jazz Singer in the movie with him probably 10 times with my mother. She was obsessed. And this song and their voices really do blend so well together. Listening to it again for the first time in God knows how many decades, it came right back to me. But at the same time, it as an older, a little bit more musically, educated, their voices really do very well together in the song. And it's schmaltzy, but it's at the same time, I think, a pretty song. And the arrangements, kind of over the top in some ways, but hey, you're not going to get me to complain about it. The nostalgia for my youth, very young youth, is huge, off the charts. And I know this was a huge album, this huge song on the radio too. So even though if we weren't listening to 8 tracks, we were probably listening to, Magic 105 or whatever, probably hearing it on there too. So, it's to me, it's a good song. I like it. I like all the versions. Late 70s Neil Diamond. He had great songs, and September Morn, and Beautiful Noise, and the original of this that he did, and then he got into the Jazz Singer, and then Barbra, of course, was huge with her Main Event and No More Tears with Donna Summer. So they were popping at this time. So I'm sure.
And this was right around when she did A Star Is Born, right?
Yeah. Yep. For sure. I mean, I think they say this is one of the most famous male-female breakup duets ever recorded. And, doing that DJ, as you had mentioned, having the wherewithal to find that and splice that together and forcing their hands to make it an actual recording is pretty cool. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Radio-driven hit making, that happens every now and then. So,
yeah. But this is a classic 70s ballad.
It is. But I would say as far as the 70s ballads of that kind of genre, like soft rock or what a soft pop, I enjoy that one. So I'll take it.
Well, we're going to get to another one for number 4, right?
Yes, unfortunately, this one is not as good in my memory. I actually don't love this next one. I actually don't love this next artist. I would say this song's probably one of her best. It is "You Needed Me" by Anne Murray, and I have never been an Anne Murray fan. And even when it came on the radio, when my parents would listen to it, I would roll my eyes. I just don't like her voice. This song is probably, for me, of the ones I remember growing up, the best, which doesn't say much because I don't love it. But this was released from the album Let's Keep It That Way. And it is, I'll let you get into the chart stuff, but it's, a typical soft, like reflective ballad. It's Anne Murray. She's from Canada. She was the first Canadian female artist to dominate US pop, country, and AC simultaneously. And I don't know why I have such an aversion to her. I don't love her voice, and it's funny. And here's for the KMS insiders that know the Kirk Minahan show. There's something very Linda Marks about her voice with that high, like her higher register. I mean, she can keep a note better than Linda Marks. And she's more talented, but just not something. And having spent many years in country music, I hated like 70s country. Like I liked 80s and 90s country. I was never really a big fan of 70s and early 80s country. That was never my time, and she was big on that time. So I know she was huge. She won a Grammy Award for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance, and it was the first #1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100 by a Canadian female solo artist. So she's big. She was big. Not a fan though. Don't like this song that much. I just my husband's parents were big Anne Murray fans. So where I had the parents listening to Barbra and Neil, and they were listening to Anne Murray. So I'm kind of grateful that my parents didn't do the Anne Murray much. So what do you think?
My parents didn't either because they were too busy listening to Frank Sinatra.
Right.
But,
I should have said my mom was huge into Frank too. Yeah. And she still loves Michael Bublé because of that. So we're in the same kind of boat there.
Got it. So this song doesn't do much for me either. I mean, my note I wrote was slow and sappy 70s ballad. She had 4 top 10 hits though on the Billboard Hot 100, and you referenced she reached the country charts and the adult contemporary charts as well. This song, though, was the only one to reach #1. The only other song I remembered was a song called Snowbird. Do you know that one?
I mean, I'm sure if I heard it, I would. But I tried to put all of Anne Murray's songs out of my head.
Right. So. But my quick story about Anne Murray is, believe it or not, related to Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band.
Oh, how does that work?
Well, on August 5th, 1974, Anne Murray and Bruce Springsteen were performing in Central Park. They had a small little theater in the middle of Central Park. They had something called the Schaefer Concert Series back then. And originally, Boz Scaggs was supposed to be the headliner, but he canceled. So they brought Bruce on. And Bruce and Anne Murray were bickering back and forth who should be the headliner, who should go on first. She was insisting that she was more popular, that she should go on first.
Here we go. So there's more reason I don't like her.
Right. But so Bruce relented, but what he got out of the negotiation was that he got to play his full set, which was 80 minutes. So Bruce comes on first, and this is 24-year-old Bruce Springsteen, who's everything and all that, and blows the crowd away, which, by the way, was at least 50% Springsteen fans who were there. And she, at one point, she was on the side of the stage begging Bruce's manager to get him off the stage because the crowd was just going wild, and she knew she couldn't follow the E Street Band. He never came off the stage. He did his full set, and after he left, probably half the crowd followed with him.
Well, yeah, they don't really go. They don't go together as, like, you're not going to get the same kind of crowd for that.
No. The only other, there have been some crazy combinations in rock history, but I remember that Jimi Hendrix once opened up for the Monkees.
Yeah.
That's another crazy one. But anyway,
I
so
saw the
that's my
Monkees.
big.
You know who opened up for the Monkees when I saw them?
Well, what year was it?
It was late 80s.
Richard Marx is my guess.
No, but I did see him at the same place, just not at the same time. It was Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Weird Al opened up for the Monkees. I saw that.
Who's going to come up later in our show, believe it or not.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Okay.
Tease, tease.
So anyway, You Needed Me is not what I needed by Anne Murray. So we can definitely move on.
When I saw the list, I was like, oh God, no, we got to do Anne Murray. Not my foot. And I really have no leg to stand on, because I like some schmaltzy AC stuff. So it's really not about just that she's schmaltzy, and I just don't like her.
Yeah.
Well, you want to move on? We can move on from Anne, can't we? Please.
Yeah, let's say goodbye to Anne, and let's say hello to number 3, which is How Much I Feel by Ambrosia, which peaked it much better. So that it was number 3 this week, and that's where it peaked. Very good pop song. It's a yacht rock standard. I know you listen to it all the time. That genre. Ambrosia, their main recording career was between 1975 and 1982. They had 2 top 10 hits. Besides this one, they also had The Biggest Part of Me. Really, kind of like Little River Band, kind of like America. They fall into this category of yacht rock-ish folk. The interesting thing that I learned that I did not know that was the bass player, Joe Porta, which was one of the founders of Ambrosia, actually went on and was an original member of Bruce Hornsby and the Range in the later 80s.
Oh, interesting.
And he toured with Hornsby for quite a while. Good pop song, yacht rock classic, yacht rock standard, I would say.
Oh, for sure. Yes. Yeah. This is in heavy rotation in the yacht rock stations. Yeah. It's great song.
Really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I am a big fan of this song. I don't go deep into the Ambrosia catalog, but
I go 2 songs deep.
Yeah, I go 2 songs deep as well, and I like them both. The Biggest Part of Me is a great song, and this song is great. So it makes me feel good when I hear it. This was off their I think their second album, which was their second studio album, and it was really their commercial breakthrough, because before this they were leaning more progressive rock, which was weird, with like a jazz influence to it, but they were more prog rock, which is funny, when we hit these artists who have shifted from different types of styles a little bit. It's kind of crazy when you put prog rock and yacht rock together, in your brain. It doesn't always connect, but I didn't go back and listen to some of their so-called prog rock, but I do love the song, and this is probably of the top 5 this week, my favorite. I enjoy it. It's smooth. It's got that it's just a smooth song, and it's one of those songs I didn't know probably, until, I probably heard it on easy listening and didn't really give it much thought back when I was in high school or whatever, but until I started getting into the yacht rock, and it became much more, something that I like and learned, and and both of those hits of theirs that are on yacht rock all the time, I enjoy both of them. So yeah, I'll take some smooth Ambrosia. Just saying it, I hear the guy on the radio. Smooth yacht rock with Ambrosia. Yeah, and you had mentioned they're in that yacht rock Toto, Player, Christopher Cross, Little River Band, Little Pablo Cruz, it's kind of that same vibe all the way across. And But yeah, How Much I Feel, I like it. It's a good one. It's a banger. For me.
They actually in '76 covered Magical Mystery Tour by the Beatles,
Oh,
and it
did
got
they?
to number 39.
Oh,
On Hot
wow.
100,
Might have to go
which
back and listen.
Yeah.
I know that they won Best Pop Performance by a Duo or Group with a Vocal in the 1979 Grammys. And they have, they're definitely a defining late 70s soft rock era band. And
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So, but I like this song a lot. It's going to be, I would say, it's going to be tough if whenever we get yacht rock in our top 5, then I'm going to dislike it. Let's just say that. There's very few yacht rock songs I dislike.
I'd have to think about that.
I'm sure there's a couple that if I'm listening, I would be like, it's not my favorite one. But for me, so yacht rock is not about the individual songs. It's about the vibe. And I equate it with like summer and like laying out on my patio and, drinking my iced tea and listening to yacht rock. So it just brings me good feelings when I hear these songs. So it's going to be, even if this song is garbage as like production and writing and, whatever, lyrically, I'm just going to like it, I think, because it's just going to be tough. It's going to be tough for me to go against that vibe. So, yeah. That's my favorite of the top 5. But we can move on to the next one.
Yeah, it's all yours for number 2. Why don't you start us?
We're gonna take another 90-degree turn from yacht rock and schmaltzy AC stuff, and we're headed to the number 2 song this week was Foreigner and Double Vision. And we're getting into more rock and arena rock, and obviously, Lou Gramm and Mick Jones. And I'll let you talk about the chart performance, but I know that it was one of the biggest rock radio records of the year, and it pretty much helped cement Foreigner as one of the premier arena bands of that time. So this song was, fit right into that big high energy arena rock song. It's very recognizable right off the bat. It's got that driving bass line and stuff like that. But Lou Gramm, who, we can talk a little bit about his solo career after in a minute. But it's kind of a kinetic song, and everybody who knows Foreigner knows the song. I enjoy it. It's not my favorite Foreigner song. But I enjoy it. It gets, still heavy, I think, classic rock rotation. If you were to turn on, 70s, 80s classic rock stuff, they're probably still bopping this one on there all the time. A little note I mentioned, this was on, I should have mentioned Double Vision, the album was this song, also had Hot Blooded, Blue Morning, Blue Day, which is a smaller song, but it was coming off their Foreigner album, which, my favorite song of theirs is Feels Like the First Time. So
mine too, actually.
Yeah,
mine too.
There you go. We agree. Cold as Ice is another one from the Foreigner album. And then they had Head Games after this with Head Games. And then in early 80s, they had their album 4 with Urgent and Just Waiting for a Girl Like You and Jukebox Hero, which is all big hits for them in the early 80s. So they had a pretty huge cultural impact. Like I said, this song is one of the most recognizable opening riff, I would say. And one of their defining songs. So Lou Gramm, I think I probably learned again, this was more in my middle school when he came out with his solo debut album, Ready or Not, and Midnight Blue was his big, top 5 song off of that, which I really, really liked. In fact, I think I bought that album for that song. Like I don't remember listening to the whole album a lot, but I liked that song a lot. And that was my kind of intro back to Foreigner. My brothers were listening to Foreigner. I wasn't. And then I ended up listening to them because I got introduced really to Lou Gramm as a solo artist and went back and started listening to their albums, their
Right.
earlier stuff, which I like better, obviously. So yeah, and he had a kind of a lot of medical stuff. He had a benign brain tumor that he had to have surgery back in the late 90s, and he had some really bad health complications for several years, but he rehabilitated, and he got back to performing and reunited with Foreigner for a couple of dates here and there after that. So it was a good, like, little feel good to read about that and how bad it was, because it wasn't something that I was aware of till I was doing the research for this. So what do you think about Double Vision?
Well, it's one of my favorite Foreigner songs.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm, and you probably have sensed this by now, I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to certain things. And, the Foreigner, and don't get upset, I'm going to mention a band here. The Foreigner, Boston, Styx, Journey, Kansas, that whole arena rock group of like the late 70s, early 80s is really not for me. I just never appealed to me. But I'll say, feels like the first time. Great. This song is great. They had 9 top 10 singles. It's probably arena rock at its finest, I would say. But what I did not know until today when looking at this, Mama, is the name of the band, Foreigner. Do you know where it came from?
I do not.
Okay. Well, 3 guys were from the United States and 3 guys were from England. Mm-hmm. So somebody said, well, we'll always be a foreigner when we go to the other country. And that's how the name developed.
I like that.
Yeah. But again, the some of those hits in the 80s were everywhere. I Want to Know What Love Is was so big. And I love
the gospel choir behind it.
Oh yes, yeah. I love Midnight Blue, which is Lou Graham's first solo hit. Great song. Of all that genre, these guys I probably like the most.
I would say Journey. If you're putting Journey in with this group, I would take Journey.
And I put them in because of just kind of the overriding arena rock.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And the vocals. I mean, and I will say these guys, like, we know Steve Perry has fantastic vocals. Lou Graham has really like good vocals, and as do like the Styx. Whether Dennis you like,
Young.
Thank you. Yeah, I remember his solo career too. They're all really good singers. On just like technically good singers too. Whether you like their music or not, it's a different story. But yeah, they're all good singers.
Yeah, and again, being picky here, Foreigner still tours, but nobody from the original band is out there. So
really?
you're playing for the logo.
Right, you're basically a cover band.
It's basically a famous cover band. Yeah,
a famous cover band. Yeah,
but of their catalog, Double Vision's a great song, so I will give them that for sure.
It's good. I wouldn't, like I said, it wasn't my favorite. Feels like the first time is my favorite, and I like a couple of their other ones probably better than this too, but it's good. It's a solid song. I'm not gonna complain about it, especially after Anne Murray, and I'll take it.
Absolutely. Number 1, should we move on?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Number 1 for the week ending November 18th, 1978 was MacArthur Park by Donna Summer. So this song, Donna Summer at that moment was the queen of disco. She had hit upon hit upon hit for 5 or 6 years. This song is actually a cover. It was written by Jimmy Webb, who's written songs for Glenn Campbell and many others. It was originally released and sung by Richard Harris, the actor, in 1967.
Funny enough, I said Man of La Mancha, and he was the Man of La Mancha.
Look at that. All right, so it's all
I
tying
didn't even
together.
realize I had made that connection until we were talking about it. Yeah, that's funny.
So the song originally peaked at number 2 for Richard Harris in 1967, subsequently covered by folks like Waylon Jennings, Tony Bennett, the Four Tops, Andy Williams, and famously covered by Weird Al Yankovic, who sang Jurassic Park. I told you Weird Al was coming back. So I love Donna Summer. I was a kind of a disco fan, but she had 14 top 10 singles. But this is down the list on some of my favorite Donna Summers. I mean, I go, Bad Girls, Dim All the Lights, Heaven Knows,
Hot
on the
stuff
radio, Hot Stuff. Yeah.
on the radio's my favorite, I would say.
I like Dim All the Lights. I like Bad. I actually like Bad. I like Hot Stuff the least of those songs I mentioned.
Mm.
Yeah.
I like this one the least.
Yeah. Well, yes, I like this one less than Hot Stuff for sure. What do you think about Donna Summer? And
I love Donna Summer. I've actually had the pleasure of meeting her. She's from Boston.
That's right.
When I worked at Kiss 108, she did the Kiss concert, I think a few times that I was working it. So I have a photo of her somewhere with me. Or me with her, I should say. It sounded bad. But yeah, no, she's great. She's a super nice woman too. And yeah, she was huge. This was her time to be huge. This song, however, I like the Richard Harris version much better. This is like they tried to do the disco, they take like a Broadway style tune and then they really just reimagined it. And I applaud their like wanting to reinvent it into something like, the 7-minute song, which it is, and kind of do something unique with it. I think it's a hot freaking mess. Like, I just think it's a hot mess. I know they have like the different parts of it is structured in like 3 different parts with the orchestration and the ballad part in the beginning. And then you have that instrumental build. And then you have the explosive like disco finale.
Right.
But I just think it almost would work better if you did that without vocals and just let it be like kind of a unique, instrumental. But I think with her voice in it, for some reason, it doesn't work across all 3 of those parts together. And I just feel like it's all over the place and it doesn't mesh and it doesn't sound cohesive. It sounds like someone tried to do something super reinventing, creative, make this epic, like full scale disco opera thing. And it just, to me, falls flat. Now, of course, it was a huge hit. So it didn't fall flat on the charts or with like popularity. People loved it apparently. And it was probably played like in the clubs, crazy, like especially, the Studio 54s of the world, just all the time. So, and she's great. And I really don't think it has anything to do with her that the song I don't like. It's just, I feel like the production on it is just a hot mess. And the whole concept of it is a hot mess. And then I did go back and listen to the Richard Harris, which is straight up like almost Broadway show tune sounding like opera. But I actually really liked that much better because it wasn't trying to be 50 bazillion different things. So I ended up having more enjoyment out of that one than the Donna Summer version. So I'm not a huge fan of the song at all, but she's huge and she's great. And she was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2013 and one of the top best-selling female artists of all time. When you listen to the 80s, late 70s, early 80s countdowns, Casey Kasem will always say, and the biggest, number one, it's all before Madonna came and those artists, but she's always touted as the number one female artist in the world.
Yeah, she had an amazing run of hit singles. Really talented, great, and she wrote songs as well.
Yeah,
she's in the Songwriters Hall of Fame.
She's very talented and a very nice person. I'm happy to say a very nice person as well.
It's good to hear.
Yeah. Yeah. And this was, again, I mentioned it was like 7 some minutes long, which is, it's rare for these days that doesn't happen at all. But even then, for it to be the number one song, be that long, and they would play the whole thing on the radio, unless you were listening to some kind of album-oriented rock station or something like that, you didn't usually get those full versions playing. Although,
disco. I mean, there were certain disco songs that were. I mean, like "I Will Survive's" a long song, but Gloria Gaynor. It was such a phenomenon, and people loved it. So that became more common instead of the 3-minute, 3.5-minute singles.
No, there's some great long songs. I mean, trust me. We get American Pie. I'll talk all day about that song. Alice's Restaurant. Let's go.
Oh boy.
Go way down the rabbit hole, and then we could talk Ministry. Another great long song. So what, 8.5 minutes? I know, because when I was a DJ in college, I used to put that on so I could go to the bathroom. All right, well, I guess that's the end of the top 5, so we can move into our bonus songs.
Yeah, you're up first.
And you had a prediction. I don't know what you picked. You don't know what I picked. You predicted you think we were going to have one of the same songs. That's your prediction.
I do.
All right.
I'm holding to that prediction.
We'll see. We'll see if it's right off the bat or not at all. The first bonus song I picked was number 19 this week, and it is My Life by Billy Joel. Is that one of them?
No.
Okay. All right. Just checking. All right. So this song, My Life, Billy Joel, released on the 52nd Street album in 1978. It is Billy Joel. Everybody knows Billy Joel. This song peaked at number 3. It was top 10 on the AC chart. It spent 17 weeks on the Hot 100. It never reached number 1, but it was one of his, bigger hits, and obviously on his greatest hits album. And one of the reasons why I picked this song, besides the fact that I played the heck out of Billy Joel's greatest hits album for many years, is because in the 80s, it was used as the theme song for, do you remember?
Perfect Strangers?
You're very close. Bosom Buddies.
Bosom Buddies. Okay. Tom Hanks. Right.
Yeah, you were definitely close. Bosom Buddies. It became the theme song for that show, which aired from 82. So I watched the heck out of that show, and I learned this song first because of the show. I don't think I knew much about Billy Joel. Again, my parents were not. I was when Bosom Buddies started airing in 1980, I was 9. My parents didn't listen to Billy Joel, so I wouldn't have probably heard this song until that show. And so this has a fond memory of me watching Tom Hanks and Peter Scolari as they're, disguise themselves as thinking nowadays cracks me up that they go in disguise to be women and live in an all-female apartment building in New York City. And I don't think that would fly in today's culture, but
right.
It is definitely one of my favorite shows at that time, along with like The Love Boat and what's the Three's Company and those types of shows. But yeah, this song is great. I mean, it's got a call from an old friend. We used to be real close. That's how it starts. The song. It's kind of like a little bit of an anthem of like, independent anthem type thing where it's, I'm going to do what I want to do. It's not, I don't care about what you want. I'm going to do what I want to do. It's my life. And as a young, I didn't know the song when it came out. And I certainly didn't listen to Billy Joel's greatest hits till I was much older. But when I became familiar with his music and this song came on, it was kind of a little bit of like a young person's, like young adult anthem, kind of going out there and doing our own thing. And this was a huge album. Had Big Shot, had Honesty, it had Zanzibar, but it's was coming off of his Stranger album, which was enormous. And I
Yes.
mean, you just look at his albums in the 70s and it's all like greatest hits. It's like Piano Man in 73, Say Goodbye to Hollywood on the Turnstiles album in 76. Then The Stranger gave us Just the Way You Are, Moving Out, Only the Good Die Young. 52nd Street gave you this song, Big Shot, Honesty. And then Glass Houses in 80 gave you It's Still Rock and Roll to Me. And that was like the entire. And then there's like a few other ones like Italian Restaurant and all those things. But that is like greatest hits before he hits the Christy Brinkley Innocent Man years, you know?
Right.
We already had a full greatest hits album from him. And I loved that era of Billy Joel is my favorite for sure. So I had to pick the song. It kind of immediately brings me back to Bosom Buddies and hearing it every week on the show. So it's when I was kind of reviewing which ones I was going with, and I thought about, you know, and it's a time we talk about Billy Joel. We hadn't really talked about him yet, so
yeah.
That's
so this is a good song. My three favorite Billy Joel albums are in this era, right? It's Turnstiles in 76, The Stranger, and then 52nd Street. I love Turnstiles. I live and die by that album. It's great. This album, sneakily has some really good hits. You know, there were the hits, but there's also Zanzibar, Stiletto, Rosalinda's Eyes, Half a Mile Away. Those are all, to me, really good songs. I mean, like you kind of covered it. I mean, this is quintessential Billy Joel, this song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for sure.
Good.
Yeah. So, and it's Bosom Buddies. Yeah.
And it's Bosom Buddies, right?
So, your turn. Go ahead.
Well, I went with a song that was number 12 on the charts this week. I Love the Nightlife by.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
Did you have this one too?
Yes, this is my second song. Yep.
Oh my God. You know what? The other song that I have, I thought was
the one. It wasn't even this one. I thought for sure.
Okay. Well, let's go over this one, and then I'll do my last one. You can finish
with your other one. Yeah. No, you go first though. Talk about this one, and then I'll talk about this one.
I just had a sense. So yeah, I Love the Nightlife. Alicia Bridges, disco, one classic 1970 one-hit wonder in the disco / R&B genre. It peaked at number 5 on the Hot 100. Fun song. It was fun going back and seeing her on Soul Train singing this song. I don't believe she had anything close to the success she had with this song. What stood out for me and why I picked it, and you might not even remember this movie, but it was featured in the 1975 horror comedy starring George Hamilton, Love at First Bite.
I remember that movie. I wouldn't have remembered that from. I have another connection to it, but yes, you go.
So anyway, in like the final scene or the next to final scene, there's a big. They're dancing to this song, George Hamilton and his woman from the
Tan.
movie.
Mr. Tan.
Yeah, Mr. Tan, yeah. So when I saw this on the list, it immediately, and I haven't thought about that movie in 40 years, immediately popped into my head, and I said I gotta pick it. So great song. I think it's a great song, and that's why I went with it.
Yeah, I agree. It's a great song, and this is probably my earliest. And one of the reasons why I picked this song is it is probably one of my earliest memories of me liking a disco song, like on my own. Like I heard it and I liked it, and I knew the song very well. It was one of my favorites, and I didn't have a huge collection of disco music when I was 9 years old or whatever, 8 years old. But this song, I remember when it came out, I remember hearing it, and I remember really liking it and like connecting to this song for some reason. I don't know why, but this song I connected to as an 8-year-old, which is strange. And I love it. It's just smooth and kind of funny that I was listening to it again, of course, and the very beginning, it picks up into more disco, right? But in the
Yeah.
very beginning, it's a little smoother, a little slower, and it has like a very yacht rock vibe to it right at the start. And then it goes, and then it picks up and gets that four on the floor going with the rest of it. But this is a great, and you mentioned it's a one-hit wonder, really, for Alicia Bridges. She was her debut studio album. She hit huge with this song. I know that she had a smaller, I don't know if it even made the chart, but I think her other release was called Body Heat. It didn't, I don't think it charted.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was her come out song, and then she just disappeared again, which is crazy at that time to have such a huge disco song and then not really repeat any semblance of success with another one. So and I know she was like a club pop star, and she kind of was like doing the club scenes and singing, but I don't know. It's just weird that her chart career was so limited to one huge cultural history song. So it is definitely a disco anthem. I think that people know this song when you talk about disco. It's one of them that they would mention, and would probably be on like best of disco lists all the time. But yeah, no, it's a good song. The other thing you mentioned, so you mentioned the George Hamilton movie. I remembered that it was in the movie Boogie Nights. So
okay.
A little different, but
yeah.
It's in the New Year's Eve party scene, which they kind of use it. It was like the 1979 party scene. It was like a kind of a cultural timestamp for the movie. It was like, Dirk Diggler, Mark Wahlberg. It's kind of the scene that crescendos the end of his like golden era before the downward spiral happens. And this song is like the symbol of the disco excess celebration party. Everything's good. And then the movie kind of goes right after that into the darkness of Dirk Diggler's downward spiral. So I'm sure it's used in multiple different movies anytime there's disco involved. I would imagine there's probably a pretty good list. So.
Yeah, that was a great movie, and for me, this is a great song. So,
yeah, I agree, but not the one you thought we would repeat.
No, the one I thought we would repeat.
All right,
knowing your yacht rock love was, I thought you were going to pick number 9 on the charts this week, Whenever I Call You Friend.
Yeah,
Kenny Loggins.
There's a couple of yacht rocks on here, by the way, that I did think about. Kiss You All Over is on here, and what was the other one that was Dr. Hook's on here. There's a couple of other ones, but I decided I needed to go disco because it's so disco. So go ahead. Talk about
was
Kenny
and Melissa Manchester. The song peaked at number 5. So what's interesting about this was on his second album, which was called Night Watch. On the album track, first of all, it's a duet with Stevie Nicks, which is cool, and it was credited as that on the album track. However, she is not mentioned on the single. So when you look at the charts, it's his first solo hit. There's no mention of Stevie Nicks on this single. Yeah, which is just a weird, quirky thing. I wonder what happened. But overall, Kenny had 4 top 10 solo hits. I'm sorry, 5 top 10 solo hits, including this song, I'm All Right, Footloose, Danger Zone, and Nobody's Fool. He also had a song with his partner, Jim Messina, back in 1972 that got to number 4. Messina. Your Mama Don't Dance and Your Daddy Don't Rock and Roll.
Before Motley Crue did it.
That's right. So I just remember when this song came out, I loved it. I thought it was cool sounding. I thought it was very neat that the background vocalist sounded familiar, and then I learned it was Stevie Nicks, so that made it even cooler. So
Yeah, no, it's a good song. Very good
yeah,
song.
yeah.
I
was sure you were going to pick that.
Well, you mentioned that the one yacht rock song I almost picked was at number 8, which was Gina Vanelli. I just wanna stop. I like that song a lot too, but I figured we covered Ambrosia, so I didn't want to go back and pull another
right.
kind of
Good
thing.
call.
And I didn't like the disco song that we got to talk about, so I wanted to pick one that I did like about.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a very quick, funny Kenny Loggins story.
Oh, sure.
I saw him in concert when I was living in Florida. It was like a small little amphitheater, indoor amphitheater. I can't remember what it was called, maybe in Broward County somewhere. But my girlfriend and I, we worked in radio together. She was my assistant. We dragged our husband/boyfriend. It was her boyfriend. She didn't marry him, but I married my boyfriend, and we dragged them. Now, they had zero desire to go see Kenny Loggins with us. So the whole time that he's singing, between every song, they would yell, "Top Gun, Top Gun." They just wanted to hear Highway to the Danger Zone so bad. And you know what? He never played it. And we still laugh about it to this day that, that's the one song they liked, and he didn't play it. But
they probably pissed him off. He didn't want to play it.
I know. It's so true. I don't know if he could hear. We weren't that close to the stage, but it's kind of, when I hear Kenny Loggins, anything like concert, that's what I think of now. And we always yell, "Top Gun, Top Gun," when we hear Danger Zone. So that's my silly story, but it makes me laugh. But I'm glad you picked that. That's a good song. It's a great song, actually.
All right, and that was our second match in the bonus. Is that correct?
Yeah, second time we've picked the same one, but not the one. Well, no, I did not pick that one. It was Alicia Bridges. But,
Alicia, the other one. I love the
yeah. But I can't remember what. Oh, it was Survivor, right? Wasn't our other match was Eye of the Tiger? I think.
I'm not sure. I think it was. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it was the first week. It was our first ever show. So. All right. Well, now that we had one match, we don't have 4 bonus songs. We only have 3. So we'll wrap this up a little sooner. But we can spin the ChatGPT randomizer, picking a random Saturday that falls between January 1st, 1970 and December 31st, 2009. Ready, set, go. Let's see what we get.
Come on, 1991.
Oh, for a second, I got really confused. 91? No. You're in the right decade, though. We just got June 6th, 1998. I think we've been in 98 already, but... I
think it was 98 or 99 we did.
Yeah, maybe it was 99. Because I think because it was Livin' La Vida Loca. Yeah, I think. So this is the year before that. I was living in Florida. I was working in radio, so we'll see. We'll see what it is. But this was great fun doing the 70s again, and we will be back next time with June 6th, 1998. I'm Mama Kay. He's Billboard Chart Guy. Thanks so much for listening.
Thank you.